So we're traveling around Finland. I'm all alone. I'm in a rental car, and I get invited to Narvi, the world headquarters, a factory, great sauna stove company, very revered in Finland, Narvi, and it just was incredible to be welcomed by Jesse, the export manager at Narvi, and meet some of the folks from the stove company. Western Finland, absolutely stunningly gorgeous. I mean, you have farm. We were driving through, and the countryside there, and there's just beautiful farms, beautiful farmland, and homes and barns. And I noticed this like rock structure, these massive rocks that too big to move, and the farmers just sort of farmed around them. And I wanted to pull over and take some photos, but we were doing a little caravan in cars, and so I wasn't able to pull over nor reach for my camera. But the spirit was there. Gorgeous afternoon, cool, sunny, nice, Narvi. So let's talk a little bit about Narvi. Of the bigger sauna heater manufacturers, Narvi is the only one designing and manufacturing all of their products in Finland. About 70 employees. Narvi grows by sticking to their plan. Narvi is very proud of their enameled heaters that are extremely durable and easy to take care of. And Narvi is an innovator. For example, the smoke channels of the Narvi NC units, they make the heater the most eco-friendly in the world. In VTT tests of those heaters in Finland, and Narvi NC 16 scored a 0.07% in carbon monoxide emissions when the minimum level is 1%. So at their factory, real people and sauna lovers are the ones developing and manufacturing their heaters. They are proud about every unit that leaves their place, and it shows. I had a great tour of the facility. We talk about the wood burning category and how 20% of Narvi sales are outside of Finland. We compare wood heat and electric heat in the voice of Jesse. Cool downs, we talk about log building versus stick frame sauna building, and how Jesse's work exposes him to sales in 25 different countries, not yet in the US. So the real gem of my trip, there was multiple gems, but a personal gem for me was a private sauna session with Jesse. Our session together was at a lakeside historic hunting camp in western Finland. It was a private sauna experience in a very old sauna building fueled by a wood-burning heat-storing AK-95. And we're going to talk about the AK series of stoves, really the gem of sauna stoves. I was able to experience many saunas using the AK from Narvi. And so you'll hear and see and feel the AK heat storing system. As you guys know, there's two types of wood burning sauna stoves. There's continuous feed, and then there's single burn. Single burn is really a adaptation of the traditional savu sauna, where if you think back centuries, before the Iron Age and all that, if one wanted to get warm in a very, kind of primitive, native kind of way, you need to get an outdoor fire going, and you'd heat rocks like crazy, maybe hopefully to get to glowing red, and then you would somehow with sticks or whatever roll them or bring them under a tarp, animal skins, whatever, with framing, and that resonating heat will be transferred into this captive space. That's the beginning of sauna, and then it wasn't too far after that method where a building was constructed and a fire would happen, open flame, savu sauna, smoke sauna, right in the building, and then the fire would be extinguished, smoke would be let out, and that radiant heat from those rocks, heated directly by flame, by fire, would provide for sauna, and that's still done today. That method. And what's really neat about the AK, and you'll hear more about this, is it's a modification of a savu sauna. It can perform perfectly well as a savu sauna, arguably, and it can perform perfectly well as not as a continuous burn, but as a single burn a sauna, and we learn how that heat storing sauna stove operates. Closing the smoke valve, insulated heat chamber, classic smoke sauna experience with a few hundred kilos of stones. No direct contact with the rocks, but continuous burning stoves require lots of oxygen, and oxygen circulates better in a wood-fired sauna, and ventilation is one of the most important things in a sauna. So there you have it. I think that kind of summarizes my intro. I'm really excited for you to hear from Jesse. Narvi stoves, Western Finland, right by the shores. Beautiful cool downs. Thanks for listening to Sauna Talk. This show is brought to you by Nice Mug. Nice Mug is the only mug made entirely out of ice. For more information, go to nicemug.com and enter the coupon code SAUNA for 10% off your entire purchase. Well, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sauna Talk, and I'm here with...
Jesse Hämäläinen.
And you are with?
I'm with Narvi, Finland.
Right, and we are in the southwest part of Finland. We're looking at this gorgeous lake on this gorgeous, crisp afternoon, fresh air. We are in a very old traditional sauna in a spot that is secret, relatively secret. Mm-hmm. We're not going to announce the place. But Jesse, if you could, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here. And first of all, this room, or this building, the sauna building, I would have to guess, in meters, would you describe maybe how big the building is?
It's like a small house actually with that entrance room. We are now in the washing room. Upstairs is the sauna benches, the sauna room, and then on that other side it's a sleeping room for guests.
Okay, and how how unique is it that the sauna is upstairs? Is that unique?
Nowadays, yes. Back in the days, it was the only way to do it. For many reasons, mm-hmm. And we are now standing in the sauna room. You don't feel any heat. Right. I would say that's correct. Completely normal as well.
Yeah. I thought it was a Swedish sauna when we walked in. Joking to all the Swedish listeners.
We are standing a few meters from the heater. This is now the sauna heater. This is a heat storing Aitoki US 95 is the model name.
Looking at about 5 feet tall. This reminds me of a large, it's about the size of a large like resident, commercial boiler for an apartment building kind of thing, about 5 feet tall. And, forgive, I'm not using metric and all that, Jesse, but, and this is about a 3 foot diameter. It's a large cylindrical vertical piece of equipment, and it's a sauna stove, right?
Yes, and this guy was heating it up earlier today. It took him 4 or 5 hours to do it. It meant he was filling that fire chamber full.
Yes.
And after the fire left, he carefully cleaned every wood and every piece of
all the
coal,
ash, so there's no burn
completely
happening.
Clean. That's important.
We're looking at an open fire chamber here, and it's a deep, are these holding 1 meter length logs generally, or less?
In this
depth.
case, it's 50, 70, 72 foot.
Yeah.
2 feet.
Yeah, so he was stoking this throughout the day, a 4-hour burn. 3-hour burn maybe, or 3.5 hour burn, would you say, Jesse?
Could be 4.
Could be 4. Yeah. And at the very end, he let it burn down and pulled all the remaining coals, out or burn them out? Let them burn out?
Took them out in
a pan?
Pan and then took them out.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay, so you're getting no burn at this stage.
Exactly. And then after the stove itself was clean, he closed the smoke valve.
Okay.
So that the heat will stay in here. And this stove is insulated, so it's like a coffee pan. It will keep the stones.
Yes. And where was the smoke going during this 4-hour burn?
In this case, up to the sky.
Okay.
Through the
chimney and out of the roof.
Yes.
Okay.
If we would close the chimney, this would work exactly like a smoke sauna.
Right.
So the fire is in direct contact with the stones.
And is that a possibility with this sauna specifically?
Yeah, we would simply not open that.
Yeah. And Jesse just pointed to where the stove, this large cylinder, met the stovepipe. There's a valve there to deflect the smoke into the room,
Yes.
as opposed to out the chimney. Okay.
There are a few hundred kilos of stones.
Kilo is 2.2 pounds, so we're talking about maybe 700 pounds of rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah.
Now it's all dark in there, but they are glowing red when the burning process is at its peak.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm ready for
Shall we go upstairs?
I'm ready for round 2. No, I'm kidding. All right.
We get back to that when we come
Okay,
there
very
again.
good. Is that water in there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so folks listening, we're now exiting what is the washroom, like underneath, basically, underneath. And we're ready to go upstairs. And, you know, the whole principle that we're prescribed to with this old traditional Finnish sauna is that heat rises. So we're going up about 8 steps into a quite large loft area, all log structure, very dark. And here we are, upstairs, and we're in the sauna room. So Jesse, how long have you been with Narvi?
That would be 4 years now, 4.5 years.
Yeah. What were you doing beforehand?
Before I was studying international marketing, and then I did some sales job in the digital media business for 3 years.
So what would you rather be selling? Sneakers, medical equipment, or sauna stoves and supplies?
That would be an easy one. I think a few 100,000 other guys are selling the sneakers, and the medical equipment might be a bit boring.
Right.
To me, so sauna would be the natural yes to that.
Nice. And you're the export manager.
Yes.
What countries are you responsible for?
That's all the countries except of Finland. Here we have 5 guys doing the domestic sales.
And if I see you're holding a water vessel in your hand,
Yeah.
are you wanting to hit some water on the rocks?
Should we?
It doesn't affect the listeners. Let me tell you that. If you're ready, I'm ready.
I would hope you listen to I love the sound of.
Okay.
Like
so
you have your own saying, but I love the sound of aitokiwas early in the morning. That's.
So we will. I will be not like an American, and certainly not like an Italian American, and I promise we'll be quiet for this moment for us.
Let's do that. I think it's like a bass drum of saunas. Let's do it. Hope you get it on the recorder.
Yeah.
Now the thing, what we don't want is to our faces to get burnt immediately. We want this heat to travel slowly in the room.
Yeah.
You start sweating like you do in a smoke sauna.
Yeah.
And it should be absolutely quiet. That's the Finnish sauna.
We can't be too quiet though.
We can't.
I'm thinking of my listeners to sauna talk. It gets a little boring.
Let's see how long they hang out.
Yeah, right on. Can we talk or should we press
We
pause?
Pause. Why not?
Yeah.
Your program. How does it work? You have listeners and they are active and give feedback after every.
Yeah. Sauna Talk came about because really I was building for this trip. You know, I recorded a lot of guests in the United States, and I wanted to get the system down. And I have the system down, to record on the sauna bench. But really, I had a sense that sauna was, in my personal opinion, I don't want to be an alarmist, but I think sauna is in a great place, much like yoga. People are looking for health alternatives to good health and stuff. With that comes some danger of losing the authenticity of sauna. And that kind of bums me out, the infrared thing and just really crappy saunas. They're not saunas that I know, and what's worse is that the marketers are hitching their wagons to the health benefits of sauna that are reported and through clinical studies and stuff, and attaching it to their fragmentations and their versions of sauna. So I saw this kind of freight train, derailment starting to happen, and I figure, I can stand up. I'm not Finnish. You guys are really politically correct all the time with your answers. I try to corner some of you, and you give great answers, by the way. And I maybe should be doing a better job of being more diplomatic and that. But this freight train is that's derailing the authenticity of sauna is really bothersome to me, and I figure this is maybe an important thing for me, and Sauna Talk's a way to do that. It's a way to really it's to get on the bench and talk about the importance of what we know as sauna, but that's not all, there's a lot of great conversation that can happen on a sauna bench with guests. They don't have to be, it's not always about sauna. So that's the origin of Sauna Talk, a podcast, usually and most often on the sauna bench.
Yeah. It's how Sauna Talk should be on the sauna bench, of course.
Yeah, good. Yeah, but it's not hot. It's not like 100 degrees Celsius.
No, but it's the hatch was closed when we came here.
Yeah.
Now when we open it, it will rise the temperature quite hot.
Nice.
So if in 15 minutes we should already close that for a while.
You know what I'm starting to think is like I can take it. I was with the Sauna Pro for a couple of days I was mentioning. And not like it was a competition, but I was outlasting him.
Yeah.
And I figure if I'm outlasting Finns on the sauna bench, man, I'm pretty well conditioned.
You are, and I would say my job happens to be selling sauna stoves, which doesn't mean I'm automatically a super sauna guy who can sit here for 2 hours and enjoys hot temperatures. That's different. Then, in my opinion, foreign people who are really dedicated into sauna by their own will, they have so much heart in it, which makes them also tougher.
Yeah.
Even if it's not competition, like you said, there is a reason why they enjoy the sauna so much. They had to work to get to a sauna. We were maybe born there, so it's different for us. Beautiful.
Well described. For example, today, the Polish couple, they really had to work hard to make their sauna happen. Do you want to speak to that a little bit from your perspective, and be boastful about your contribution for them, please? And Steph, how would you say their names again?
Jakub and Josefina.
Yeah, Jakub and Josefina.
Yeah. They contacted me. We get contacts like that quite often, actually. I'm happy to see that trend. The younger generation is interested in sauna. They maybe plan to buy one. They plan to build one, and in this case, they plan to build one in Poland, in Warsaw, really downtown in the Central Park area, which is a beautiful spot. And I forgot to ask them today where they originally got the idea. I'm not sure about that, but when a young couple like them decided we want a sauna, not only that, but that they want to bring the Finnish sauna there, then it's like the weak spot for us, then we really feel like, okay, we need to help them. And the process is long. I try to tell them that in the early stages, you will face some problems, whether if it's bureaucracy by the Polish state or transport issues or planning issues, whatever. It takes patience to build a sauna, especially in such a public place as the Warsaw Park. Our ways to help them is limited. We are the heater producers, so what we could do was to donate the heater there, and then I helped them to find partners. We have a partner network, so it was easier for me to suggest other companies that could
Let me
help
just
them.
jump in just for a second, Jesse. So you mentioned you get inquiries like this a lot of times. Can you put a number on it? Is it one inquiry a day, 10 a week? I know it must vary, but can you give us an idea of the number of inquiries like this you get?
Well, it's not many. Definitely not one per day. Almost every week, a couple a month.
Sure.
would be the
Which
would be
builds
the number.
and builds and builds.
Yes, and
you say
in
yes
all
to
cases we cannot help. In some cases we are not the right partner. They might want to have only a sauna and they don't really care how the heater should be. Then it's easy for me to direct them to someone who's focusing on that part. And in this case of the Polish couple, they wanted the authentic finish and the wood burning, so that's why we felt so so good about that project.
Well, they were hugely appreciative, as you know. I mean,
They seemed happy.
Yeah, they seemed damn happy, and I was able to help. They contacted me and had my ebook, and I coached them through email through a lot of the nuances of building and that, and you were helpful in connecting them with a kit. You want to explain that? And they're a partner in a sense.
Well, yeah, we buy a pre-made sauna kit from another local company, Tammiston Puu, and as the Polish couple needed a sauna building, and there is a company 10 miles from our factory doing them, it was easy for me to suggest them, and then I didn't help anymore regarding that. They figured out the details with Tammisto, and now the sauna is in Warsaw, so I guess.
So sauna, this is what I'm talking about. Sauna is growing in awareness and attention globally, all around the world. Again, as people are looking for more healthy alternatives, the authenticity of this sweat bathing is gaining a lot of attention, and it's just really great that in Warsaw they got a kick-ass sauna stove.
They do. Warsaw especially has the air quality is quite well. This is a big topic, but just a part of it. Warsaw happens to have bad air quality, so it might not be the best possible idea to if you need to build something, don't build something that burns wood. And I was glad to see that both Jakub and Josefina and the one guy they were talking about had understood very well that it's a small sauna. In this case, the stove they have there is the most eco-friendly wood-burning heater in the world, so that's causing as little harm as possible. But more importantly, they understood as long as they burn only clean and dry wood, the numbers are completely different from what they do now in Warsaw burning.
And what are those numbers? How would you explain those numbers based on certification or testing?
There are a few. Some numbers have to do with safety. It can mean the distance from the sauna stove to the combustible material. That's one number. Every sauna stove is tested, and then from those tests the numbers are given. Then it can be what the CO level is of the gas that's running from the stove all the way to the sky. That's one important number.
And what is that?
That's the limit you need to be under 1%, and in our case it's 0.04%. So we are very proud of that number. It's next to nothing in CO.
0.04% smoke or
that's CO.
CO
in the smoke.
Right
yes.
on. Right on. Great.
Then there are really small particles. They are in the tests. They are called only dust, and that dust includes many of the small particles.
Right on.
That's one thing they measure, and then the efficiency of the sauna stove, which need to be above a certain level.
Yep. We were talking earlier about the product mix, electric to wood-fired, and how, and I'm trying to remember the numbers, but what year was it where 80% of your sales were wood-fired stoves?
It wouldn't be too many years ago.
Yeah.
Enough years, but that means there is a trend. Domestic market is the biggest for us, and there we can measure what the demand is. As we start selling more and more electrical heaters in our domestic market, that shows us that there is a growing trend of electrical heaters.
And what's the product mix today, sales, wood versus electric?
I'd say it's close to 50-50, but
both domestically, Finland, as well as international?
International, the electricals are dominating.
Yeah.
That's the neighbor countries, and in Canada and in North America, they buy wood burning stoves, but
by wood burning.
Yeah.
So wood burning is more for your business, the export business. Are you selling more electric or more
electric?
Wood? More electric.
Yes.
Okay. And in Canada, is it more Narvi electric stoves or more Narvi wood stoves?
Wood burnings in Canada.
So Canada is an anomaly on your is an exception to your territory.
Yes.
Other countries is very strong with electric.
Germany, the neighbor countries, the Baltic countries, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Sweden, Russia, they are strong in the wood burning category, but otherwise the more south you go, the more likely it is that it's electrical.
I'm very curious, because as export manager for Narvi Stoves, you're a good person to talk with about sauna growth, like the sale, the growth of sauna as it is relative to your stove sales. Is the export business doing well for Narvi?
Well, I would say so. Yes. It's like I said, it's a very interesting business, and it's a fun business. I see it that way, and as we gave quite many years to our competitors by not being present in the export sales, we now have quite large market to look at, and so far it's been good.
Great. And I would think, you tell me, but what percentage of sales is domestic, meaning Finland, versus export, all other countries?
That's not an accurate number, but I would estimate around 1/5 is export.
1/5 is export.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, doesn't that share some insight as to the popularity of sauna in this country? I got the numbers down. 5.5 million people. That's about right. 3.3 million saunas. I've heard about that number. Okay. And I also hear there's 5.5 opinions of a good sauna too.
Yes.
Finns will talk sauna, won't they?
Yeah, they will, and well, you could try go to a market square and start talking sauna with random people, I'm sure you have 10 out of 10 quite soon, and then you skip the rest of the millions and then realize it's true. It's
Thank you for saying that. I'll tell you a quick story. I was driving from Jyväskylä, how do you say? Jyväskylä, down to Tampere, and I needed gas. Pulled over to a gas station, and well, by the way, everyone under 25 to me looks like a hockey player.
Okay.
So I said to the guy at the cash register, hey man, are you a hockey player? And he's like, no, and he goes, where are you from? I said, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we were getting into small talk. He was an exchange student from Wausau, Wisconsin, a couple hours away, and and of course I couldn't resist, so I said, so do you, how often do you sauna? And he gets a big smile on his face. He goes, every night.
Oh.
And I go, great, that's good. And I go, well, I was expecting electric. To the answer to my question is, so electric or wood fired? And he smiles even more and he goes, wood fired, of course. And then
that guy.
I like that guy too, And then to your point, then there's this middle-aged gentleman who heard us talking English and jumped right in, and he goes, when I was his age, I would sauna 3 times a day, and there it goes,
Yeah.
And I started I was enjoying the conversation, but I started looking at the time, and I'm thinking, this could go on here for quite a time, right? I mean, this is not exceptional over here, right?
No, it's it could be in the news, digital news. If there is a normal news about some politics, there is no active discussions. But then when it's a sauna related news, people just can't help themselves, but they have to go and comment, and that's when it starts.
So this, have you heard this English expression, a double-edged sword? Double-edged sword.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's leading the question for you as being in sales for sauna, this industry, this passion of this country. Does the enjoyment of it ever come? Like you say, you're not a sneaker salesman or medical equipment and all that. You could certainly leave at home, and just be done with it. But being in the sauna industry, is it ever a double-edged sword in that you can't get away from the conversation, or do you enjoy it no matter when and where?
I definitely have not had enough of it that I can say. So far every sauna conversation, whether it's on work or on my free time, is welcome.
Well, you've met your match with me. We've been talking for 20 minutes. It could go 2 hours, but I want to be respectful to the moment here.
Yeah.
Do you want to hit some more water on the rocks?
We can.
My interpretation of this very special stove, it's the opposite of what's called what I've learned is as a terminology in English would be a continuous burn. Is that the direct translation of?
That's what I think it is. Yes.
Yeah, and this is the opposite of that. We call what, a single burn?
Yeah, or a heat storing.
Heat storing.
Yes,
yeah.
but it's single burnt, meaning you burn it up once and then. After the fire is gone, then you start using it. Yeah. And it will remain hot for hours and hours. So we could come here early tomorrow morning and it would still give some left.
One of my American friends, Kurt, he comes to sauna at my cabin, and he has this peculiar practice where he likes to be the last one in the sauna, and as the night is ending, and He delicately adds water onto the rocks, and he likes to he calls it beat the stove. In other words, take the burn to the the heat to the end, so that the stove, the lolu doesn't fight back. Yeah. And there's no way you could do that with this stove. If Kurt was here trying to beat the stove, I think we would need to call the ambulance, right?
Well, if you would drink non-stop water and have some chilled sauna hat, maybe that's possible, but it would take quite much.
Right. And it's about
just hundreds of kilos of stones.
Right. It's thermal mass is what we're experiencing here. Thermal mass, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of kilos of rock, red hot. Cooled only. I use the word loosely in that they're cooled, but they're not firing red right now.
No, they are. They reached. That's the sign when you don't have to keep on burning the sauna. When they get glowing red, they are hot enough to burn even the ash that's by that time on the sauna stones.
You've reached the temperature in the fire box, so that there's maximum.
Yes. Not even maximum, but enough to burn the bad ash out.
So we're getting a very fresh, clean air in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So this is sauna number 25 for me, and I knew it was going to be a good one, and it feels wonderful. We're talking here about exporting sauna stoves. You must have a bunch of stories from other countries. You must get a lot of questions from. Is it dealers that how you distribute in other countries?
Dealers is one. Yes.
And even end customers specifically, are they calling
Those two,
in?
luckily, they somehow don't reach me. They might ask their own questions to our dealers.
Yeah.
Who might have some fun moments every now and then.
Right. So you're the educational assistant, the sales assistant to your dealer network.
Exactly.
And if you could think, I'll have just kind of throwing a crazy question your way here, but like, what's a question that maybe comes up often, or there's a big confusion, or like, what do you think is most misunderstood about sauna outside of Finland that you've been helping respond to?
Well, it's the last time someone asked about this was earlier today, and it's mostly electrical heaters and the water. That's one, and I understand those who ask. They might not feel comfortable of pouring water on something that's running on electricity. That's okay. But then the sauna heaters themselves are designed for that. That their only thing is to heat up the stones as effectively as possible. Metal should not be heated up, but the stones should. And after that, the hot stones will bring you the steam. So that's when you pour water on the stones.
Can we try a little of that right now?
We could.
Yeah.
We could.
So that's a fair and common question. I get that. Has anyone ever asked about positive ions?
Not to me, no.
Yeah. Do you know where I'm going with this?
I have a clue, but please.
Yeah. So I've been told, and by multiple sources, that positive ions are produced when water gets tossed on or gets placed on electric stoves, and coming in contact with the heat coils. Whereas what we're experiencing right now is water being put on sauna rocks producing lolu that is heated from wood in this case, but there's no wood burning right now, producing negative ions. And the general information that has been presented to me is that negative ions are good, positive ions are bad. What do you know, or where are you at with this topic?
Regarding the physics behind that, I don't know. I'm not the expert. I've always been pro wood burning for a few reasons. It's none of them is the ions. That's I haven't studied that deep.
That's number 6 on a list of top 5 reasons.
Exactly. Well, let's put it this way: electrical heater, pros, easy to use, quick, not messy. That's about it. Wood burning stoves, better atmosphere, better heat. That most likely has to do with the ions you said. In the end, the fire in most cases will only heat up a metal, which will in its turn heat up the rocks. So there is no direct contact with the fire and the rocks, except for a model like this Aitokiwas we have here,
Right.
or any other heat storing model or Sauna. Another thing is in continuously burning stoves, the fire is on, it needs loads of oxygen. That's
Right.
how it does, and it needs to take it from somewhere. That makes the oxygen level in the sauna room circulate better.
Right.
It can bring the lake smell to your sauna. That's small details which I think.
I would say, if not to interrupt you, but that's a small detail with a massive yet subtle effect.
It is, and it's ventilation in general is one of the most important things. It's one thing that can ruin your sauna if you would otherwise have a perfect sauna, but you would mess with the ventilation. That would ruin your löyly completely.
Yeah, wood or electric in that case. So, not to put you on the spot, it's not a loaded question, but if you were blindfolded and brought into a sauna, into the löyly room, do you think, and you were sat down and somebody were to toss water on the produce löyly with water on the rocks, do you think you could predict with some relative accuracy whether that sauna was being heated by a wood-fired or an electric stove?
Blindfolded and my ears covered, it would be more difficult. I would say that the noise tells quite much. I could, especially if it's a small electrical heater, I would definitely recognize that. But then if I was completely in the dark and wouldn't hear anything, I would only feel the heat. Maybe the sign number one is that if you only burn your face quickly, then it's usually a sauna stove with too many rocks, too few rocks. It's a quick and hot, leaving your toes cold. The slower the heat comes, the better the steam usually is.
I think that this is just my opinion, because I asked the question without knowing an answer in my own mind, or maybe we're just splitting hairs, as they say. Splitting hairs. Like, have you heard this expression?
Going into
Yeah, I mean, good heat can be good heat, but I would, now that I think about it, I would throw in the mix that good heat is limited in with electric coils. Like, you can only get it so good, and then the subtlety is found at some point of that intensity that we're feeling right now. I don't think that's producible in electric, in my opinion.
Yeah, most likely true.
How are you feeling now?
How long have we been here?
I don't
15
know.
minutes maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm feeling like soon going out some fresh air. Maybe the lake. I will test it with my toes first.
I'm not afraid of the lake at all.
You're not?
It's
Okay.
like anything in life, it's about conditioning. Like, there are those people that can, do 150 push-ups the minute they wake up in the morning. I mean, that's not me. I need a cup of coffee.
Equally good. Don't worry.
Well, there you go. But or biking. I have a neighbor. He's like, oh yeah, let's go for a 100-mile bike ride. I'm like, you're crazy. 30 maybe. Well, in your numbers, 40 kilometers is a nice bike ride for me, and that's kind of the. Yeah, but I'm starting to realize with sauna, I can hang with all you guys. I'm kind of glad it's working out. And one of the ways I think that I am conditioned for good sauna is the cool down. I find the cold lake very therapeutic and energizing.
It is, yes.
Yeah. What? How important it is for you, the cool down, as it relates to a cold plunge or a lake swim? Is it part of your DNA, part of your sauna ritual?
It is, yes. I'm not one of those who can sit for 1 hour in sauna, then take a quick shower and go home. That's I more put it in frequencies. 50 minutes sauna, cool down. It doesn't need to be 1 hour cool down. It can be 5 minutes and then back. I enjoy it more that way.
Yeah, I do as well. I call that the rubber band theory of sauna. The rubber band meaning you're stretching the heat and you're stretching the cold.
Oh.
And that experience of extremes in both bring you back to a really great center, which we'll do. I'm going to hit pause and we'll revisit. Yeah, so we did a lake plunge and we're sitting in the lower level. Directly above us is the hot room. It's all gravity that's creating the heat up there. Very old school. How thick are the walls here in this sauna building? The sauna
building? Logs, I would say maybe 15-20 inches would be the thickness.
I gave you the whole blindfold scenario. How this has been asked by I was asked by a listener to Sauna Talk to ask the Finns, how important is how do you think the log is versus a stick frame insulated sauna building? Do you think, again, being under the scenario or hypothetical of being blindfolded, could you tell a difference of a log building versus an insulated stick frame building? Or are we really getting in the weeds of particulars here?
Not that, but I wouldn't. Blindfolded, not. Yeah. I don't dare to say I'm the expert of construction techniques.
Sure.
It's for me. It's what I see, what I smell. That kind of.
Very minor, would you say? I mean, the heat retention is. It's a leading question, and I don't mean to lead, but obviously in a log building, there's no insulation, there's no vapor barrier. It's log wood against. There's probably some thermodynamic advantage to this, I would think. I'm leading you down a road I don't need to intend, but any thought?
Not really sure what you mean, but from the heater perspective, the only thing with log walls are that you need to heat up more. It will you will lose some of the temperature.
Especially in cold.
Yes, that you do. We like to calculate the volume of sauna, and if it's log, we usually add 50% to
50.
Yes. So we calculate the volume times 1.5 to get the actual volume.
Nice.
That's the only thing about logs. Yeah. Log saunas that I
agreed. In Finland, are you always building stick frame sauna hot rooms with foil vapor barrier?
Today, I would say mostly yes.
Yeah, yes. I love that stuff.
It's good. It's safe. It protects your house, especially if the sauna is attached to your house, which in most cases it is in Finland. So you don't want to mess with moisture, for example, in your house. So that's why the vapor barriers are. But
a plastic vapor barrier to me is not as effective as foil. Foil is reflective, and it's heating. Yes. It's heating that wood paneling, that tongue and groove paneling from the inside, and reflecting it back.
I know where you're going. But yes, foil is what you see in Finland. If you go to an construction site with the sauna going on, there is the foil. Right on. Definitely.
Right on. So, Jesse, you manage how many countries, would you say, as export manager for Narvi Stoves?
This moment, 2025.
Yeah. Are you selling in United States?
US, we don't sell, no, unfortunately.
Yeah. What's up with that?
It's a big market. There is a sauna boom. I read. I can notice that, but it's due to this regulations, the UL standards. We
Underwriter Laboratories.
Yes,
and that's a U.S. Government. Is it private or is it government?
I think it has to do with the insurance companies.
Sure.
And some instance controlling the safety of devices sold in the US.
And that would be electric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Underwriter Laboratories, they will test and give certification for toasters, microwaves, electric sauna stoves. Exactly. How about wood fired?
Wood fires might be different. It can vary from state to state. I must say I'm not all familiar with that, but I would hope the local fire authority would be the one to speak out there.
Yeah.
To well, read the test reports made in the manufacturing country, Finland in this case, and then decide whether it's safe or not. If not, we like any manufacturer is most likely happy to help them.
Right on.
It's not in anyone's interest to install anything that could be dangerous.
Exactly. Anything more you want to say about that in UL or
UL? Well, one thing that bothers me is when I go online or when I see saunas in the US, I'm feeling a bit bad because I see the heaters. That's my business, so I always look at them. And I would like to say to the US sauna people that there are so many great stoves on the market, and you are missing quite many of them. You're now heating up the saunas with heaters that are allowed, yes, but if they were allowed 15 years ago, it doesn't mean that they are better than the modern ones.
Well, yeah, it's been said by a sauna expert, a gentleman I have a great deal of respect for, that 90% of the saunas in United States are bad, and the other 10% are worse.
Yeah, well, that's if I go online, I would say that could be the case. Maybe there is a joke in that saying, but some of the models they look like what we used to have in the 1970s and 80s. Unfortunately,
in other words, you can put your bread in there and make toast out of them.
Yeah, exactly, or dry your hair. That's,
okay.
That's function.
It's a shame. You figure Underwriter Laboratories, they're out there to protect the consumer. Okay, we got that, but it's really a barrier. We need this. Okay, we need standards and all that. But when the cost to get certification or get tested is so great, maybe only the big can do that or are willing to invest in that. And so to get a return based on those high costs, they have to sell toasters at a price and a label that is a sauna stove, perhaps. It's just my observation. I don't know.
Yeah.
As a business guy, it's all profit and loss, P&L. Like, what's the P&L? If we want to go into North America, what does it cost? And how do we get rid of return? Yeah.
And but don't also get me wrong. There are luckily good heaters as well, and especially in the wood burning, I'm sure there are good ones. But so much works to do, and I hope one day even the U.S. market can use any model available in the market.
Right on. Well said. There's a secondary thing we want to be aware of is building good saunas. Like even, you can, let's just say you can have a good heater, whether it's electric or wood fired. And on a commercial side, there's also regulations that are dictated in a commercial sauna at a health club or a community center or a hotel that you have to have it of a certain size. You can't bring the room above a certain temperature. There are all of these constraints on the facility that are making for bad sauna experience. I don't know the particulars of this, but I know the hotel saunas and all that have regulators built in that throttle you know what I mean by throttle? Like a governor that throttles back. And after, I think it's 150 or 160 Fahrenheit, it's like you can get fined for having too hot of a hot room.
That's too bad. I mean, rules and regulations are mostly good. They are there to protect us. It's better that the sauna is a bit too cold than too hot. And that's maybe the case. What could help? Education, sending a group of authorities to study sauna better. I don't know, that kind of stuff. I don't believe anyone personally wants to make sauna worse. That's probably not the thing there, but lack of knowledge. those kind of reasons
Right on.
result to this.
Let's talk as we go upstairs. We're going up to round 2 here. Would you how would you classify this stove or this sauna? This is not a sauna, is it? Or
no, this is a very classical Finnish sauna.
a classical Finnish sauna. We're going upstairs. Very unique. I think this is the first time I've partaken in a very classical Finnish sauna of this nature. But it's very. The word is practical. It's practically built. The heat up above the kiwas, above the stove. So we were framing up about the United States, a frustrating place for a sauna stove company to consider entering. Is that a good summary?
That's one way to put it, but yes, of course we could send our heaters to the tests. That's nothing stops us. It costs money, and we still would like to stress that the tests we make here in Finland are extremely strict and regulated, and we passed those. And unfortunately, in this case,
they don't transfer.
Yes, exactly.
Did I put words in your mouth?
Yes,
there?
well, that's the right word.
Right on. Hit some water, would you? Yeah. And as we experienced the Lolu, you can think: are there other countries that are challenging for you? Or if we want to turn the question to a positive, are there other countries that are giving great success for you individually, personally, as much as for the company?
Well, our main market is of course Finland, so our products are mostly designed to work in here, but now after we made some steps in the export sales, we need to adapt to different countries. There is none of them is super easy. It can be otherwise good, but they have a different electrical system that causes challenges. They can have some rules. You need to cover your heater with some railing. That can be one rule. We just need to adapt to that, and we always remember that sauna is not something that everyone has in other countries, which is why I understand it can be a bit scary for someone. You play with temperatures, fire, electrics, water. I understand that for someone who needs to decide for others' safety, it's a difficult choice. But that's why, again, the knowledge and the education would help in that case.
Right on. We had a nice factory tour today. Thanks again for that.
No problem.
It was really cool to see the production, electric and wood-fired stoves. Can you tell us, listeners, a little bit about this really? Well, let's start with this really unique stove, the dual sauna, single heat, Explain in the name of the stove and a couple of little dynamics that make it unique in the sauna stove market.
That's the name is Aito Kiwas, which means Aito means authentic and Kiwas means stove. So it's the authentic stove is the name of the product, and it's single fired or heat storing, however you want to put it. That means you burn it once, and the goal is, of course, to get the rocks hot, glowing red in this case. The smoke goes, the fire is in direct contact with the stones, so they get hot quite effectively, and the smoke goes in the end out from the chimney. Then when the fire is off, you close the smoke valve and wait for the stones to settle, and then go to sauna. That's what we are doing right now. There is no fire left, and the stones are hot.
And this is how many different size units, or is it one stove, or are there different sizes of this?
There are 5 different sizes.
Wow.
smallest one would be the AK-47, like the assault rifle, and then comes the 57. The number always, it means the diameter in centimeters.
And you have 5 different sizes of this class of stove.
Yes, up to 1 meter 10 centimeters, which is big,
and each
big
one. Okay, sorry, what did you say?
It's the biggest one, 110 centimeters.
And that would be for maybe a resort or some commercial size?
Yeah, a bigger one. This is the 95, so this is the second biggest.
Okay, and the smallest residential. What size hot room would you recommend for that?
Well, we are very careful with that number. We don't want to. I think at our website we say it's only from 8 to 14 cubic meters, which is a standard family sauna in Finland. But it's powerful enough to heat up a larger room. But then again, we recommend to use a bigger stove instead, just in case.
Yep. Got it. And so that's one class of stoves produced by Narvi. Can you share, staying in the wood area, what's the next class of stove?
The next, actually the only next would be continuously burning. That's the main difference. This is heated up once, but then the continuously burning is what most people see as the normal wood-fired sauna. So you keep on adding wood. With
a damper regulate the burn rate?
Yes, exactly. You can open the ash box a bit. That gives it more oxygen and boosts the fire. You can the smoke damper. You can open or close and control the draft.
Right.
That's another way. No matter which type of sauna heater it is, the goal should always be the same, to get as many rocks as possible hot.
Yeah.
And the goal is not to heat up metal. That's something.
So Jesse, say you had a friend of yours. You play hockey? You
run? I can't say I play hockey. I go skating with a stick sometimes.
So you're not a tripod, are you?
What's a tripod in this case?
Like a cameraman has a tripod to hold the camera.
Yeah, I'm that one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're a little better than a tripod.
Yeah, if the stick leaves the ice, I fall down. That's...
What sport do you like?
What's
sport?
It's football.
Yeah.
What you call soccer.
Right on. Did you play quite a bit of football?
Not really. I played in the second league in Finland.
So say you're in the locker room with a couple of buddies and they find out, oh yeah, you're a sauna stove guy, okay, and then he, his name happens to be like, let's say, I don't know, like, hey Jarmo, it was a good game. What are you doing these days? Well, I work for Narvi, and then Jarmo says, wow, we're building a cottage in the saunas. We're building the sauna, and it's the proper size for just a cottage sauna. But it's 4-season. We're going to be up there in winter and where would you lead him in terms of suggesting a stove? Like what? Where would you go? And he says, Jarmo says, hey Jesse, what stove should I get?
Yeah.
Where would you go?
I would put some effort in trying to brainwash him to wood fired if he's.
Oh yeah, we want to go wood.
Yeah,
Jesse, we're definitely going wood. We got trees all over the place.
Then it's lots of options. I would ask. Time should never be an excuse, but most people who don't choose this once heated heat storing, they say it takes too long to heat it up.
More wood?
Less wood, in fact. But
really?
yes, that's funny how the efficiency is really high. It's completely on its own level, but it takes time until you can go there. Yes, you burn it once, then it's hot for 12 hours.
Okay,
so
the not to go in the weeds on that, but the efficiency is because you are all of the fuel is being used to heat those rocks all at once.
Yes.
So you burn the shit out of it.
Insulated
Yeah,
can.
and
So
yeah. So all of that heat's being contained in this box, this
Exactly.
cylinder. And
Yes.
yeah. So the irony there is less wood needed for more saunas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our emission rate for this sauna session has been 0 for this time.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Yeah. So you're burning for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
But if I was going to have a continuous use sauna stove, I may be burning. Let's see, an hour to get started. Maybe so. Maybe I'm burning 3 hours or 3.5, or say it's 4 hours to 4 hours. Will there be less emissions with a single burn than a continuous burn, or about even? Would you say?
About even, I would say it's the same amount. How much would you burn will anyway cause the same emission.
But you're telling me I can get more BTUs or more fuel from a single burn.
Yes, system. But that's if you the debating time has to do with it. If you just heat up your continuously burning stove, go there, get out, then you use less wood than in this case. But then if we would bait for 12 hours, this would be 10 times more efficient. So somewhere there between is the break even for the wood consumption.
Wow. So the danger that I would have with a single burn, are we using the right terminology, or you want to call it something else?
Hope the listeners understand what we're talking about.
But if we were in conversation, what would be the word to use for
heat storing, I said.
Okay, heat storing. Okay, so the danger of a heat storing sauna stove for me is I like to stay and use all the heat out of the rocks. But you're going to go to bed at night, and there's still plenty of lolu produced for these rocks, right?
Yes.
So that would take an adjustment for me. I would also say that a stove of this nature here, this how do we say, contained heat, like the
heat stored heat,
would be really good for if you're building a cottage and stuff where the sauna was part of a bigger more things going on. Because if you have all that storage, you can use that heat in other ways. Yeah.
You could, definitely, yes. You could. Well, after using the sauna, we could direct the heat.
Yeah.
And anywhere we want.
Is that being done much in Finland?
No, I wouldn't say so. It's some people use the heat that the chimney gets really hot. That temperature is sometimes used, for example, to heat up water. That's one way to use it.
Got it. Cool. Okay, so Jarmo says, I want to get a sauna stove, and you'd say this, your continuous burn is good, but you would generally try to steer them toward this other system. Yeah,
let's say they say, we don't like to wait for 3 hours before. We always come home and we want to go to sauna immediately. Then it's a different story. Then I would. Most important question would be how big the sauna is, and then find a size to that. Yes. Yeah. That's by far. If they only look at the design or the looks, there is a chance they choose a wrong type of heater. Are any saunas being built with dual heaters, electric and wood? There are. My own. I mentioned brainwashing, and that happened to me when I started working at Narvi. I was just about to build my house and the sauna, of course, in there, and there was an electrical heater coming in there, and it took 2 weeks until the guys at the factory had made sure that wood burning is the one to go with. So I chose wood fired instead, and then I had to make some new plans and drawings. But then just when the sauna was about to be built, my boss told me that, hey, you will also need an electrical. There will be this Friday night when you come home and you just don't have wood or whatever, then you want to push the button. And I did that, and sometimes it is really nice to push one button and then you have the sauna.
What a great company you work for. Your boss says, "Listen, man, you got to have these stoves." Yeah, that's great. Yeah, what a great thing. So, what percent of the time are you only using the electric stove in your sauna at home?
Roughly 70% is wood fired and 30 is electrical.
Yeah. How are you getting your wood for your home?
Well, like I said, we built the house. That means we have a piece of land, and to get the house there, we need to cut some trees. And in our case, it was 28 pines and 2 birches. So those I burn. I think I'm burned 10% of my wood supply so far.
There is wood everywhere around here, man. Everywhere I go, there's a wood pile. It's wonderful to see.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you? Do you have a chainsaw?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind?
It's a gasoline powered.
What brand?
Is it steel maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you into it?
I have a steel myself. Oh. Yeah. I finally traded up and got a steel. I had this McCulloch. It's probably American brand, and it still works and stuff. But man, that steel is like a knife through butter. It's beautiful.
It's good. I'm not the perfect chainsawer. My dad makes sure it's oiled and the chain is sharp. Otherwise, it doesn't. Well, it makes no sense what kind of saw you have if you don't trade it well. And same goes with sauna.
Did you hear that? I think it was Abraham Lincoln, a famous American. Maybe it's not even him. I don't know. But it's like if you had an hour to chop down a tree, he says I would spend 50 minutes sharpening my axe and 10 minutes swinging.
That's very true.
Yeah. And so you do you split your own wood, or does your dad do that for you?
No, I split it myself.
Okay.
I should have used at least 10 minutes to sharpening my axe.
I love splitting wood.
It's so relaxing. And that's...
What do you find? Is there any better time of year for you to split wood?
No. They say that trees should be cut during winter time and then cut again in the summer. But I don't know. In our case, it was when the house was built, so that was the time.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
But I don't even know the reason why the wood should be cut down on the winter.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some. The pros know about that. I'm sure. Do we need more water?
We need.
You want to do rock, paper, scissors to see who fills it up?
We can do that.
Okay. Is this something in Finland?
We have a gentleman's rock. Is the first one.
What is that? How does that work?
We both need to put rock just to in the first one, and then the game is on. So
okay. 1, 2, 3.
So that's the gentleman's rock, and now it starts.
Aha. I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
See,
I could get the beers at this time. So.
Oh, so I really won the bet.
Yeah, you did.
So we're back. Jesse here, and Glenn at Sauna Times, and Jesse, Narvi Stoves. We're chatting off between rounds here. The UL certification, North America. What is this infrared stuff? How is that handled? How is infrared? Is it happening over here in Finland? What's the general take on infrared? It's certainly not a sauna over here, is it? Known as a sauna, or what? How would you say
well,
it?
It's to begin with, it's not as big as it's in the US. That's for sure. I must say I don't know very much. I know it's completely different from the Finnish sauna. It's a completely other thing. It's a room where you use lamps to create some I don't know if temperature is the right word or not. But,
and I don't even know if heat is the right word.
Most likely not, but it has very little to do with the Finnish sauna as we know it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right in that they're a big deal in America, and I've been kind of outspoken about it. I mean, and I'll be that way with you right now. Is people can do what they want. I mean, I'm not trying to say that infrared maybe is not for somebody they have, like you were saying, maybe a shoulder injury, and the infrared is helping.
Can relax your muscles and that. But my concern is that the word sauna is quite often mixed with that, and that's I don't really understand.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
Sauna comes from the hot room with stones getting hot, and you throw water on them,
right,
creating steam.
Yeah, and this didn't just start 20 years ago.
No, not really. It's some hundreds could be too less, thousands could be right. I know the Indians even they had their tent saunas. Way back in the
Right. So when you have these reported health benefits of sauna, okay, it's about what we know as sauna. Water being tossed on rocks in a room, heated with a stove, preferably wood, can be electric, creating lolu, creating steam. And even you could even get into the nuance where the study that we're speaking about, was done in Finland. A guest on Sauna Talk, Dr. Jari Laukkanen, the pioneer of sauna study research of this 25-year-old study, up to 3,000 Finnish men. Women were not part of the study. Not like he was biased or whatever. It was a study for men, happened to be. Longer, a decreased risk of stroke, Alzheimer's, reduction of heart disease. All of this to a typical Finn is probably no surprise, right? Would you say, Jesse?
Well, no. I'm glad it's on paper now. It's something we knew. Maybe my granddad told me that sauna is good for you. He most likely didn't do any research for that, but sauna is such a big part of our culture, and we go to sauna quite often. We automatically go as much as Dr. Jari Laukkanen happens to recommend. That doesn't have to do anything with the research. That's our culture. But I'm really glad it's now been studied decently, and that should definitely be a message about what sauna can be as its best. It's not the reason why we go to sauna in Finland, but that's a really big plus for it.
I think you said that very well. So I want to stay so positive, but I gotta bring it back around to this infrared thing. So the danger is when companies or marketing or whatever takes such great news and applies it to something that does not apply.
Yes, that's maybe they, for some reason, used the word sauna. I could imagine it has to do something that the buildings or the rooms are wood-lined. That's maybe the common thing. And then they read this news and then combine it with... But that's, as far as I know, it has nothing to do and zero tests by for example, Jari Laukkanen has been made by infrared saunas. It's the Finnish sauna that's been tested.
Exactly. If the infrared community wants to do their own test, God love them, and I hope it's positive.
They should have. I'm sure the infrared as a therapy or way to relax is really good. If you want to lean back and relax your muscles, that's most likely true, and your muscles will get relaxed. But I would hope that the benefits of sauna stays as benefits of sauna, while the infrared thing should focus on a different.
Or stand alone for its own.
I must say I'm a bit surprised of this, because if you go here in Finland and ask anyone, they would not even mention the infrared. It's not a thing over here. But apparently in the US it's or maybe the consumers or the people have troubles to understand the difference between
Yeah.
sauna and infrared.
Well, hey, we got a lot
I
of.
throw some water.
Yeah, please hit it hard, man.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the Lolu. I like that the stove can take it, and I'm looking forward to the heat. This is round 3, and we're getting it. You know. Yeah. Be generous. Nice. Good. Well said. In a very Finnish way. I love it. I mean, I can get really. I don't know. You know, I think you just explained it as best as I've heard on my trip, as well as in the last couple of years. As a lover of the authentic, and I'm even embarrassed to have to use the word authentic. It shouldn't have to be. I should just have to say to you, as a lover of sauna, you know, to me it hurts. It's a knife. It's a knife in my side to hear, you know, or read, oh, sauna, and then you look at what they're promoting or selling, and it's an infrared, you know, closet, and I'm like, oh, this is just not helping, you know. So I'm gonna figure this out. I don't know what it's gonna take, but I think it's really important. You know, we got 300 million people in the United States, and very aggressive marketing, and it's like if Pepsi-Cola wants to sell, you know, cola, and Coca-Cola wants to sell Coke. There's no better marketing engine than in America. And if infrared is going to follow a marketing path, it's going to be dangerous for what we're doing right now. The Finns, hey, you guys, you're not going to get affected. You got more saunas than cars, but it's the rest. It's America that I feel the knife in my side, and.
But what's the reason? And sorry, I asked simple questions here, but why would someone use the word sauna if they don't sell a sauna? If they have a, let's say, infrared therapy room, what do they think they benefit from using the word sauna?
Yeah, that's a great one, and it's all the goodness that we know, with one less zero on the cost to do it, and you know, and 50% more in profit. So it's money, you know. It's just money, and it's ease of use. It's a simple unit to assemble in a living room or a basement, and it's a shame. I like to think that the American consumer is smart and well researched, but I think the gap has been very great about sauna that you and I know and what's being labeled as sauna in America. And now that I'm thinking about it also, we touched on another issue, is this UL certification thing. You know, competition is good, and quality products allow the customer to choose, and we're doing okay. I mean, you know, there's good saunas being built in America. The 90% bad and 10% worse is we're redoing that number. You know, one good sauna at a time. But yeah, so we got a lot of work to do in America. You know, it's great to talk with you here at Narvi. You know, western southwest part of Finland, the heart of great sauna in so many areas. I had great sauna sessions in Tampere, and did I say that right?
Tampere.
Tampere, yeah. So I hope people listening to this understand that we're trying to be fair. You know, we're trying to say it right, but the Finnish sauna is a great thing, you know, and we are grateful for the studies, but like you were not surprised. I think probably not many people know about these studies because people live this study. It's probably like saying air is good for you in Finland.
Exactly. Yeah, that's. They say we are born in sauna. That's not true in every case. I can reveal that some of the babies are born in a hospital environment, if someone was wondering. But yeah, sauna is a part of our everyday life. We hear there is a breaking study that the health benefits are good. We maybe we are too humble again and say, well, that's good, and do nothing about it. While we should, especially now, not only we are one of the heater manufacturers. There are so many sauna companies in Finland. We should all use this argument together and make sure that
But you're
sauna
Finns.
gets what it
You
deserves.
guys are
Yeah.
Finns, right? You're going to
Finns,
say.
So we say, well, good result, Jari, and we all continue.
That's right. Well, no, I was thinking more that you guys are respectful to the individual to choose. Like,
Yes.
you know what's good for you, and you're not out gonna buy a billboard and put it out on the street.
Yeah.
That's the Pepsi and the Cokes of the world. So we need good marketing, and Sauna from Finland. I mean, there's a step potentially here. Shout out to those guys. There will be something really good that emerges from this because sauna is so good. It's bringing so much goodness to a wonderful country here in Finland. The real deal, right? Like I asked Dr. Jari Laukinen about the what, and you can answer this just in your own knowledge. What percent of people that sauna enjoy some sort of cold water or a cold plunge or a lake plunge as part of the sauna routine? If just a rough number, like what percent?
Like, this is absolutely a guess. It would be 25%.
Only 25.
Yeah.
Do most people take a hot round session and then a shower and call it good, or
shower or sit outside for chill? I don't know if that was part of the cold plunge thing, but
yeah. Okay, let me ask a different question. In your knowledge here in Finland, how many people will go to sauna like 15, 20 minutes and then go back and get dressed and go home or go,
That's close to my own sauna behavior. So, but I would do the 15-minute session twice, so it's 30% for that.
Yeah. That was a leading question. I was trying to take you down a road here to say the key part of sauna is there is no time. It's expanded toward a mental a mental wellness of complete relaxation. There, I think, is underrealized physical and emotional benefit for a good cool down, a jump into a cold lake or whatever. And this is implied within the results of the study. Saunas are good for you, reducing all this and all that, because it's a different experience than at a gym or a health club where you pop in there for 10, 15 minutes, get dressed and go home. So that was a loaded one.
Yeah.
Hey, so Jesse, if you could have a mobile sauna and bring it anywhere in the world and take a sauna, does a place come to mind for you that you would like to experience a sauna?
Well, if I had a mobile sauna, I would not take it to Finland because it's a good opportunity to take it somewhere else.
Yeah.
To start with, I don't enjoy too much attention, so it would not be Times Square in New York. I don't know, the sauna where I would place it would not be just for that sauna moment. It's so much else. I would want to think how I walk in there, what's the view in there, what's close to me. I would like to plan what I do after the sauna. Do I want to just relax in a tent, or do I want to go eat fine dinner somewhere?
Yeah. So where would be a place?
At last,
this is a hypothetical question.
Yes,
it's a dream type question.
And we have all the money to execute. So it would be. This is for your listeners, but it would be somewhere between U.S. and Canadian border, around Washington, Alaska area. That's completely unknown for me, but the pictures and the views I see from there are simply fantastic.
And would the mobile sauna perhaps have a transom window, so sitting on the bench you could look out at
It would in this fantasy. It would, yes. Well
done. Got another one for you. If you could have a sauna with anybody in the world, dead, alive, the past, the present, what's the first person that comes to mind for you? It's not a trick question.
No.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
I am already, but
again, it's a dream, unlimited.
When it's a dream, I in my case, I would be dumb not to choose a woman, They are eager sauna goers as well as men. Who would be number one? We already can see I didn't have any immediate, but why not the new Princess of United Kingdom? She seems like an interesting person.
There you go. Nice. Good, good.
My generation, and she has some international experience, and she would be high enough ranked so I could tell my friends I had sauna with her, and they would care.
If you could, as you think about, like, maybe even today, or any time you're going to sauna, which is probably most days, how many days a week do you sauna, roughly?
It's roughly quite a few. It's 1.5, meaning every second week I go twice, and every second week I go once.
Okay, so as you think about sauna, that you wake up and you know you will sauna this day, and you go about your day, and then you come home or you go to sauna and stuff. What is your favorite moment through the whole process? The first round, the second round, lolu, even after? You know, we got some makara sausage happening. Is there a moment that sticks out for you?
One favorite is when I decide tonight is sauna. That's one. I usually don't have it planned that far. I don't plan that next week. It's Wednesday and Thursday, but it could be a Tuesday afternoon and after a day at work, and then when it clicks and I say today I will heat up the wood-fired sauna.
That's when you hear the angels.
Ringing. Yes, exactly. Then obviously the next part is me putting the logs in there and igniting it and waiting for the fire to settle, and coming proud from the sauna room telling I got this, and then I add some logs, and then I can stay as long as I want, or I can even skip it if I want. It's completely under my own control.
No email,
no text,
no nothing, no clock.
Also that, but it's my own sauna. I don't drive somewhere. 1 hour, pay for a ticket, feel maybe I shouldn't go. That's something I don't want to experience.
Thank you. Jesse, what a pleasure. This has been sauna number 25 for Glenn at Sauna Times, a memorable one by the shores of this great lake.
You're still breathing, I can see that.
How am I holding up?
You're doing good.
What's the name of this lake again?
Pyhäjärvi.
Pyhäjärvi.
Holy lake.
It's a holy lake, and it's a holy moment here with Jesse, export manager, Narvi sauna stoves, beautiful sauna stoves. We are kindred spirits. We'll have a little chat more, but I wanted you listeners here to Sauna Talk, whether you're driving in your car or who knows where you may be. This is the real deal. I like bringing this moment to you through this podcast. It's been my pleasure, and I think I'm going to go jump into lake.
I plan to do the same. I might chicken out the very last seconds, but...
Well, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks, Susan.